at the losses right now, as you can see on your screen, Nifty is at the day's lowest point. It has actually lost about almost 90 odd points as we speak. If you look at the Sensex, it's extended its decline. 250-point decline coming in for the Sensex as well, 280 as we speak. If you look at the ones that are losing this morning, or let me talk about the gainers this morning. You only have a handful of gainers this morning. You have only 5 stocks on the Nifty that are gaining. That is Kotak Mahindra Bank, Axis Bank, Tata Motors and Asian Paints. Right now you have DVs that slipped into actually come into the positive territory, but it's a negligible gain coming in for DV's Laboratories. But talk about the losers, and you have quite a lot of them, given the fact that out of 50 Nifty stocks, you only have 5 that are gaining. So almost 45 Nifty stocks are declining in trade today. So you have Mahindra & Mahindra that's ruling the charts. It's down about 1.7%. You have Bharti Airtel down 1.6%, followed by Titan. Again, you have then Eicher Motors, Hero MotoCorp, all of them declining. So you have Autopac that is actually seeing immense pressure in trade today. And no points for guessing the fact that your advanced decline ratio is in favor of the declines. But what is very interesting to note is also the defense names. Names like HAL, that's the one that is declining in trade today. Talk about Mazagon Dock, that one also was seeing a sharp knock of approximately 5% last time I checked. You also have Cochin Shipyard that is under pressure in today's trading session. So you have these defense themes also that are actually underperforming in trade today. Talking about what's happening with the sectoral indices, PSU Bank Index, that's the one that is bucking the trend once again. The PSU Bank Index is seeing strength of about 0.8%, but that is the only sectoral indices that is in the positive territory as we speak. Like I mentioned, you have auto sector that is under pressure, you have the broader markets that are underperforming the benchmark indices, and so are the FMCG sector. So yes, not a bright Friday coming in for the markets. Definitely, Aviraj, for now, as you can see, that you have the markets that are taking the breather. They've extended that breather period for themselves after hitting, for Nifty Bank hitting that record high level and Nifty hitting that 52-week high level. But isn't it? Thank God it's Friday ultimately, isn't it?
Right. Of course, exactly how you said, Cheryl. Thank God it's Friday. And you know what that means for us at Buy Now, Sell Now? Fridays is Buy Now, Sell Now Pathshala. We have Kunal Bothra who will teach us about higher tops and higher bottom charts patterns. Kunal, take it away.
Thank you so much for that. So today on Pathshala, we'll be discussing the basic crux of technical analysis is how to find an uptrend. And an uptrend is generally defined by a formation of higher tops and higher bottoms. So today on the chart specifically, we look at a simple illustration of how an uptrend actually looks like. This is how a stock pattern goes into a uptrending mode, where it forms a top, goes into a corrective phase, then makes a higher top, which is relative to the previous top over here, and then the higher bottom, or this bottom, is relative to the previous bottom. Now a stock goes into an upward trend not just in a linear manner, but more into a manner of an upward move and a corrective phase. If the bottoms which have been made is on a successive higher basis, we call it as a classical uptrend, because the stock also forms a higher top in that regards. Now we look at few examples of how do we try and decipher and identify stocks which are moving into a long-term uptrend. Now this is the charts for Mindtree, for example. This is on the longer term time scale. This is how the stock actually forms into a multi-year, multi-month uptrend, where it moves up higher, makes a lower bottom, and then moves up higher. The top is much higher than the previous top, and the next successive bottom which the stock had formed was significantly higher than the previous bottom. This is the first sign of a bigger breakout and a bigger trend which engulfs into the stock price, and that's how we continue to ride into the uptrend. We use these phases of correction / consolidation as a good opportunity to try and average, or maybe to try and chip into the stock price. We look at one more simple example, something which had given a bigger breakout in just from the 2020 lows, and that was Tata Power. The stock, which was almost at 25 or 30 rupees, from here on moved up higher, formed a new high, then managed to make a very marginal kind of a low, and then continued to move into an upward trend fashion. So this is how we classically look out for a pattern of higher tops and higher bottoms. It's always beneficial to use this pattern and the crux of the higher tops and higher bottoms on a higher time frame charts.
All right, thank you so much for that, Kunal, for taking us through something new in BNS and Pathshala. But for now, let's slip into a break, Adiraj, and when we come back, viewers, we will be back with our guests for today, as well as we will take your queries. So don't go anywhere.
first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market,
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. And today, let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Ashish Kyal joining us on the technicals, and we have Ashish Maheshwari, who's joining us on the fundamentals, the day of Ashish. A very good morning to you both, Ashish Kyal as well as Ashish Maheshwari on the show. I think just for clearing our doubts and for our not to confuse us, I think I'll call you Mr. Kyal and Mr. Maheshwari today, just so that, you know, we are addressing the right Ashish on the show. But let me ask this question to you, Mr. Maheshwari, and this one is on what should retail investors do in this particular market scenario? We can see markets, after actually inching closer to those record high levels, have decided to take a breather and consolidate at these levels. In this sort of a market condition, what should retail investors do to make sure that their wealth is protected, which they have already created?
Yes, this is a $1 million question now, because what has happened in last couple of months, that stocks are not going anywhere, and there's a lot of distribution happening in the stocks at higher prices. At the same time, investors just watching that indices are touching new high. So there's a lot of index related stocks which are being bought, number one. Number two, what is happening is there's a lot of sectoral churning happening. So day before yesterday it was railway, yesterday it was defense, today it is PSU bank. So like if you try to trade a lot, then you might get stuck up in a wrong sector, because you are assuming that today PSU banks are going up, tomorrow again they will go higher. So but it may not happen. So my suggestion to investors is first of all that you focus mostly on the large cap instead of a small cap and mid caps, because if we see even inflation inside and the margin related issues, etc., they are more with the mid cap and small cap companies compared to larger cap companies. So for some time you need to remain focused and invest money in mostly index heavyweights instead of chasing a small cap and mid cap. And whatever trades that you do in a sectoral theme, just try to come out on very same day, or keep some stop losses, because markets are very volatile nowadays, and this volatility will continue because again the issue is triggers are not there, any major trigger which will take stocks to new high. So on all rises distribution is happening, because people who have stuck up at various level try to exit on any rally. So don't fall victim to all those rallies, exit, and just remain cautious and keep stop losses for sure if you're doing day trading.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Maheshwari. But now, as you know, viewers, it's time for our query segment. So start the questions coming in. Buy Now, Sell Now is your one-stop destination for all stock-related queries. We are live on all our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Twitter, and the number that flashing on top of your screen for WhatsApp. So without further ado, coming to you first, Mr. Maheshwari, Sandeep is writing to us. He's asking about higher tops and bottoms today. Does Airtel have that kind of chart? He was looking for a daily time frame from July. Please advise. Mr. Maheshwari, this is for you.
No, technical I can't answer. I think Mr. Kyal.
Right, Mr. Kyal, that's for you then.
Sure. See, if you look at higher tops and higher bottoms, that's a brilliant study that some time back you talked about. And yes, a very good identification by the viewer, and we can clearly see higher tops, higher bottom forming in Bharti Airtel. Having said that, one thing is also very crucial, the risk reward that you get. So just higher top, higher bottom does not mean you have to go and buy the stock, but you have to also identify what is the risk, what is the reward. When I say the risk, what is your stop loss and what is your target that you are looking at it. So if you check today, Bharti Airtel is down from the highs, and I think the support for the stock is around 818, which is a 20 days average. So if you get the stock around 818 or 820, that should be a good level to enter again, since the overall trend is positive, and then maintain a stop loss at around 800 levels, expecting a target of 850 on the upside.
All right, let me take the next query then, and this one I'm getting from Ramasankar, and he wants to know about Sheshashahi paper, and this one is for you, Mr. Maheshwari. He's asking a fundamental view on this one. 2 years plus is his horizon. What's your take on Sheshashahi paper? Do you think this stands out among the paper stocks and a wise investment strategy that Mr. Ramshankar should adopt?
Yeah, at what price he has bought this stock, or he intend to buy?
He's not mentioned his buy price, so I'm guessing he's intending on buying this one.
Okay. So my suggestion will be to wait for some time, because stock has moved quite a bit because again few things went positive for paper sector as such. First of all, the price realization has significantly went up. In maybe in last 1 year, paper prices have almost doubled. But at the same time, stocks have also started performing, and now there's some cooling off in my view which may come. So my suggestion will be wait for another 10% kind of a downside before acquiring Sheshashahi paper. And another stock which I like in the sector is again leader JK Paper, which has come out with excellent set of numbers, and in my view, that will be front runner for paper stocks as such. So JK Paper and Sheshashahi both are in my tracking list, and both are in my buying basket also.
Mr. Maheshwari, coming back to you, Dr. Mazumdar has writing to us from Rourkela, Odisha, bought Dixon at 230 of Dixon at 5,241, Hind Copper at 144, and Varroc at 496 plus 28. He's incurring heavy losses. How long should he hold for the long term to recover his capital?
See, nothing wrong fundamentally with the company. The only thing is, as investors struck up at higher level, so you need to be patient so that your prices will come. In fact, I'll suggest in Dixon Technologies, even you can think of averaging out also this stock at current price, because again numbers are good for the company, and it has really moved up from the lows also. And the mobile and FMCG, mobile and FMEG or white goods, what they manufacture for third parties, there's a lot of traction there, though some pressure was there on the margin, but volume growth is there, and their backward integration is also going to help to maintain the margin, and I'm expecting they will continue to do 50% kind of CAGR growth in next couple of years. So Dixon, I'll suggest to average. Other stock, Hindustan Copper and Varroc Engineering, you can remain invested for some time and just wait for some recovery in their cycle, and I'm sure you'll get exit in next 3 to 4 months in both the stocks.
This next one is for you, Mr. Khyal. This one is coming from Sri Kutan, and he wants Jyoti Laboratories. He wants a technical view for the next 6 months to 1 year, and he wants to enter afresh. So he's asking what's an entry price for this one.
See, the overall pharma sector, I think, should perform well, and Jyoti Lab has shown a very good outperformance within the space itself. We are seeing some kind of a short-term correction from 205 levels towards this 190, but I think around the zone of 187 or 188, one can enter this stock and aim for the target of 210. So that should be a good entry level, but trade with a stop loss. The stop loss is going to be around 179 levels.
SK Saran is writing from Bangalore. This is for you, Mr. Khyal. What price can one invest in Navin Fluorine?
See, the overall stock has been excellent, and we can clearly see it has shown a very sharp rise from that 3,500 levels. And currently, we are seeing some dip in today's session because there is a broader selling that we are witnessing right now. So I would say it's better to wait for now. If you get the stock at around 4,200, that should be a good level to enter into this stock if you are not already having the position. So 4,200 should be the level to enter. Stop loss can be maintained at around 4,050, and then expect a target of around 4,700 on upside.
This comes from Nafas, and Nafas is saying that he's bought Piramal Pharma at an average price of 143 rupees per share. About 3,000 shares is what he's purchased. Mr. Maheshwari, he wants to know whether he can hold this one for the next 2 years and also expect a good return.
Yes, fundamentally nothing wrong with the company as such. Only thing is, as there's a lot of waiting period involved, so investors are just trying to liquidate their position, because before to demerger and post demerger, a lot of things have changed, and Piramal Enterprises, their NBFC and Piramal Pharma, in both we are watching some liquidation also happening. As far as price is concerned, I think nothing wrong at this price to accumulate Piramal Pharma, but you need to be patient for next 2 years. Certainly, you will get good returns.
Mr. Maheshwari, coming back to you again. TP Vinod from Salem is writing, planning to enter Pradeep Phosphates and UMA Exports. Can you please ask the experts' outlook for any of these?
So Paradeep Phosphate, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I suggest to slightly wait for further decline in Paradeep Phosphate, because after touching stock 70 levels, we have seen continuous sell-off happening in this stock, along with other fertilizer stocks also not performing well because of rising cost of raw material, which is giving some pressure on their margins also. So, though this is a good company, and in non-nitrogen fertilizer, they are doing pretty well, but still pricing related pressures are there. And the kind of subsidy government is giving on these fertilizer, their collection period from government will also go up in coming time, because the huge subsidies government has to shell out. So my suggestion will be to wait at least 50-52 levels to enter into Paradeep Phosphate, but in long run, it's a good company to hold in the portfolio.
All right, this next one is coming to you, Mr. Kyal, and this one is coming in from Mr. Ravi Varma. He wants to know if it's wise to hold on to JK Paper for the next 6 months. Ravi has not mentioned his buy price for this one. So JK Paper, we took a view on Sheshashari Paper a while back from Mr. Maheshwari. But what's your take on JK Paper?
See, if you look at the trend of this stock, it has been clearly higher highs and higher lows, which is the trend is on the upside. And we can expect some hurdle around the zone of 440, which is the previous peak, but the stock is in an uptrend and very good position. There is some divergence, so loss of momentum is what we are witnessing. But if we can hold on for the period of not 6 months, but maybe a year, we are expecting the stock to be even crossing that above 500 levels. So hold on from a little longer time frame, and on the downside, the important support is around 390 on the downside.
Right, Mr. Maheshwari, Raghubendra from Bangalore is writing to us. Long-term investment query is what he's asking for, between Jubilant Foods and Jubilant Pharmova. Which one will reward if one invests for the next 3 years is his question.
So if you ask me, Jubilant Food is a better bet at this price. Compared to Jubilant Pharma Nova, where we have seen a lot of liquidation happen in the stock, because the valuations are rich and the kind of growth which was happening in this particular sector is not coming now per se. So my suggestion will be to buy Jubilant Foodworks, because the kind of business plan they are having, the kind of franchisee they are bringing to Indian market, and their ambitious plan of opening almost 300 new outlet in next 3 years will do well actually. So Jubilant Food is any time better than other stock.
All right, this next one that is I have is coming in from Satya, and this one is for you, Mr. Kyal. He wants to know that he's looking to shift from HDFC Life to HDFC Bank now. Do you think it's the right strategy? The problem is now Satya also has not mentioned his buy price. I request all of our viewers, if you already invested in a particular counter and if you want the apt advice from our experts, then do mention your buy price, because it will help them actually give you a better and a sound advice on what you should do with your investment. So Mr. Kyal, now what should Satya do with his holding? Do you think it's the right thing to do, switch from HDFC Life to HDFC Bank? Because now we are seeing HDFC Bank trying to actually build that momentum.
Yes, in fact, if you look at HDFC Bank, we saw a very sharp rise from that 1520 levels towards that 1620 on the upside. So definitely by looking at the charts and the ratio analysis, if you do between both, HDFC Bank looks to be outperforming. HDFC Life, many had hopes on it, but still the stock has not even delivered any kind of returns so far. It has continued to correct or consolidate. So I think it makes sense to be with HDFC Bank, the outperforming stock. And there is a possibility this stock can even inch towards 1720 levels or higher. And as long as he is okay and comfortable holding it from a period of 1 year or more.
Mr. Maheshwari, this one's for you again. Smita is writing to us, holding Glenmark Pharma shares at level of 600. Would like to know the prospects. Also, can I average it at the current price is what she's asking.
Okay, so the stock, I think she's holding the stock for quite some time because in last 1 year, stock has touched the highest of 550, and I can see stock is now at 410 odd levels. So my suggestion will be like in pharma stock, it will be very difficult to gain that kind of price recovery back. So I suggest you sell this stock, and I suggest shift it to GE Shipping, which is a stock available at around 620 levels. And in my view, GE Shipping has a potential to touch even 800 rupees to 900 rupees in coming time, because this quarterly numbers were superb numbers. And last 6 months, they did a profit of more than 1200 crore, which was 600 they did in the entire full year. And the way shipping industry is doing and the things are changing in GE Shipping, in my view, this is a stock to watch. So it will give you faster return compared to Glenmark.
Right. Mr. Maheshwari and Mr. Kayal, please stay with us. We're slipping into a very short break and coming back with viewers. Don't stop sending your questions. We come back with the query segment and the rapid fire.
Well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is
Welcome back to ET Now's Buy Now, Sell Now. And you can see fresh visuals coming of your screen. India's first private launch, the Vikram S, launches to space. All the big wigs from the political spectrum are right there in Sriharikota, seeing what's happening, especially Union Space Minister Jitendra Singh.
very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee...
Absolutely. So that is a historic moment coming in. Remember that this is India's first privately developed rocket, Vikram S, that has been launched. So all eyes on that. It has lifted off from Sriharikota Spaceport. It is a landmark for India's space sector, given the fact that this is the first privately developed rocket, Vikram S, that has been successfully launched. And that's the visual on your screen where they are tracking the movement of that. Minutes after liftoff, the rocket is expected to reach an altitude of around 81.5 kilometers with the 3 payloads weighing a total of around 83 kgs. Remember, the Vikram S rocket is carrying 3 payloads from Space Kids India, Bazoom Armenia and N-Space Tech India. They are equipped with sensors for the measurement of acceleration and pressure. So there you go, a historic moment coming in for India, for ISRO and entire space sector, isn't it, Adhiraj? So yes, and it's great that we get to witness such momentous occasion.
Right, you're very right, Shell. And you know, this speaks a lot about the boost of our country also. We just saw fresh visuals coming in, and as you said, it's our first private launch, so I think that's something to be very proud of.
Privately developed.
Privately developed, my apologies.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a big day coming in for India's space sector, definitely. But let's move on then, and let's continue with your queries then. And there are a lot of them pouring in already. Let me take this next one that I have, and it is coming in from, okay, this one is coming in from Naveen. And we just spoke about space, but he wants to know about defense in particular. And he wants to know whether it's the right time to enter BEL and HAL at current levels. What's your take on this one, Mr. Kayal? HAL, BEL, all of them have seen spectacular rally. If you look at the way how these companies have moved, it's some sort of a re-rating that was set to take place, and it has already taken place. But do you think now they've reached an app level that you want to, if you want to enter, you can enter afresh? We're seeing some mild corrections anyways.
Yes, we can clearly see a very strong rally that is happening in BEL and HAL. And we can clearly see BEL is showing some kind of correction is possible there. I would stick with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited because that looks to be very strong. The trend looks very clear. It is managing to protect that 20 days average also, going up with a higher volume. That is what we can see. So I think HAL looks very promising. But the stock has already rallied. So if you are okay with the risk appetite, then you can re-enter it at the current levels. And on the downside, the important support is at around 2,400. It's a little far away, but that's the support for the stock. And we can expect it to touch that 2,900 levels on the upside.
Right. Mr. Maheshwari, this one's for you. Mahalakshmi from Hyderabad. She's asking for a long-term investment between ICICI Bank and Federal Bank. Which one is better?
In fact, if you ask me, both looks okay. ICICI Bank is one of the most strongest bank in India, but only thing is some correction is happening in the stock of late because the way profits are made in ICICI Bank, etc. So some liquidation or some profit taking is happening. As far as Federal Bank is concerned, again, a very quality stock and has given very good return from 110 to almost 130, 334 today in last few months itself. But it will continue to do well. In my view, let ICICI Bank correct by 5% and let Federal Bank come to 125, 127 mark. Then you can start accumulating.
Okay, this one is for you, Mr. Khyal, and this one is coming from Manish Raju. He is looking to invest in Deepak Fertilizers and Jupiter Wagons for a period of 3 to 6 months. He's asking, do you recommend buying at current market price? Also, if you could suggest a level to look at. I'm not sure if you track Jupiter Wagons, but staying put with Deepak Fertilizers, I have another viewer who's asked a query on it, and that's Naval Mehta, and he's already invested in Deepak Fertilizers at a price of 91.5 rupees per share. So he wants to know what should he do. So one side you have Manish Raju who's looking to enter Deepak Fertilizers fresh, and the other side Naval, who's already invested in it, wants to know what should he do with it.
Deepak Fertilizer, I think currently it's putting somewhere around 765 odd levels, if I'm not wrong. And we can clearly see a very sharp correction from the levels of 1,050. The stock has nearly corrected by around 30% from the tops, and we are not seeing any kind of a respite here. There is just no pullback. So it seems that something is not right as of now over short term. So if you want to enter, I would say you rather wait now. At least let it close above the prior day high to give some kind of a pause in the downtrend. Do not enter fresh positions as of now. And if you already have positions, then maintain a very strict stop loss, which is going to be around that 720 levels, which was the earlier peak. That is a very important price action support area. So maintain a stop loss of 720. Fresh positions to be initiated only if stock can manage to sustain above that 820 levels. Even today, the stock is, I think, down over by around 3% or more. So it has fallen substantially. Something looks to be fishy right now.
Just to correct, actually, Naval's average price is 915 rupees per share. I believe I said 91.5. Sorry for that, Naval. But you got your view from Ashish on that. Adiraj?
Right. Mr. Maheshwari, coming back at you. But before I take this query, I must say that you are a solid hit between all our viewers, because I've got parades of questions coming in about how they're big fans of yours and how they've been really listening to you and getting good returns. So we must have you on the show more often. But moving on, sir, Vivek is writing to us asking about Praj Industries, bought for long term. He said it's failing. What should he do? Fundamentally, he does not see anything wrong with it as of now.
No, I don't think the questions are just coming only for me. I think there's a confusion between both Ashish, and coincidentally both are having same hairline also.
This time I think they have mentioned Maheshwari as well. We've been very sure that they also mentioned the right surname for us today, at least, so to make things easier for us.
Okay. So, as far as Praj Industries is concerned, again, fundamentally, company is very sound, and we have seen this rewarding investor pretty well in consistently over last few years. But again, the issue is as the ultimate user, sugar and brewery sector stocks are not performing. That is why this company, which makes equipment and machinery for ethanol production, etc., this is also not doing that great in recent time. But fundamentally, company is good, and if you want to accumulate, just wait for 10 odd% from here, some fall, and start accumulating gradually.
Right. Mr. Khayal and Mr. Maheshwari, please stay with us as we're stepping into a very short break. Viewers, keep your questions coming. We're still going to be back with the queries and, of course, rapid fire as well.
Is costing you 25 rupees right now. After 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. And as promised, we will continue taking your queries right now as well. And let me continue with it then. And this next one that I have is coming in from, I actually have a lot of them pending. This one is from Vimla George. And Vimla has bought TCPL around 250 shares at a price of 1,274 rupees per share. She wants to know whether it's a good idea to shift from TCPL right to Cochin Shipyard or Mazagon Dock. Do you think, Ashish, Mr. Maheshwari, this sort of a strategy is a right one to do from TCPL to move directly to a different sector altogether, and that's in defense, either Cochin Shipyard or Mazagon Dock?
No, I don't think so. This will be a good strategy to sell this stock because if you see even today's stock has given very handsome return and almost a 52-week high. So in my view, you can continue to remain invested in the stock because we have seen from June to September itself the net profit become double of this company. So now such companies are being chased by a lot of institutional investors where such performance is coming. So my suggestion will be to remain invested in TCPL packaging for timing. I'm expecting a price of 2,200 here in next 3 months.
Mr. Khayal, coming to you, Dhriti is writing to us. She wants you to give her an entry price for fine chemicals.
See, overall, I think fine chemical. Let me just check if I'm able to find that stock. Because I'm able to see Chiplun Fine Chemicals, if that is the same company that she wants to know the entry about. It's quoting somewhere around 1459. And this stock, if it's the same one, I would avoid buying something like this because overall the stock has been falling sharply and there is just no respite. So do not try to enter into this. The volatility is too heavy on this one, and I would avoid buying something like this, and it's better to be, if I want to buy, I might look at Tata Chemicals or something like that. So.
Okay, Mr. Khayal, this one also is for you, and this one is from Ramesh, okay? He's saying, which is the best at current price, Hero Moto or Eicher Motors? He's saying he's already at huge loss by BTST mode yesterday. He had Hero Motocorp at around 2,756 and Eicher Motors at 3,466. Now he wants to know whether he should hold them for the longer term in 1 to 2 weeks or so. Should he let go of either of them?
See, I would first advise any trader who is buying a BTST to keep it a BTST, so you don't end up marrying a stock that you are buying it for BTST and keep it for lifetime, because then you don't know. Now, fortunately, Hero Motocorp is a very good stock, both fundamentally and technically. If you're looking at, so he can hold on to this stock, keep it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks more. I think there was some correction in the morning, but it's trying to recover that losses on the upside. There is a possibility the stock can move even towards that 2,800 levels, but maintain a stop loss on downside at 2,690. In case it moves below that, then exit from there. As far as Eicher Motors, I think the stock is under pressure. We can expect it to move towards the level of 3,300 as well. But keep that as a stop loss, 3,300. Hold on to the stock. There is a possibility that it can recover, but always trade with a stop loss when you are doing BTST.
Mr. Maheshwari, coming to you now. Vivek is writing to us, inquiring about Sangvi Movers. His buy price is 225. He's asking, should he exit at current price?
What is current price now? Like,
his buy price is 225.
Okay, 225.
Current price is 293.
So you are making a quite decent profit, though I haven't seen stock performance of this stock for quite some time, because quite illiquid kind of a stock this used to be. But you can remain invested in this stock, because again this infrastructure equipment manufacturing companies like Ace Construction Equipment or Sangmi Movers, all were doing well for quite some time. And the way infrastructure sector is picking up, I think Sangmi Movers will continue to do well. So remain invested in mine.
This one's coming from Arkash Mathur, and this one is specifically for you, Mr. Maheshwari. And he's saying that he has one mid-cap bank, one large mid-cap and large cap and a mid-cap IT company in his portfolio, one pharma stock, one travel stock, one steel tube, one power and one rail stock in his portfolio. Now he's asking you, which other sector should he look to invest in for the longer term, and which would be that one stock that he should look at? As far as I can see, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have exposure to auto or PSU names in particular.
Oh, I thought there's some quiz where investors are asking so many stock, large cap, mid cap. They are having. I have to guess which stock he is having. So,
this was a tricky question actually, but till the time I didn't read the entire question, I was also wondering what Arkash actually wants. So now he's asking, which other sector do you think that he should invest in?
he could have made my life easier if we might have shared the name of the stocks on which he is seeking opinion. But nevertheless, in my view, banking stocks will continue to do well. Let me put in that way. Those companies or sectors which are more India-centric will continue to do well in next 1 year. So if you are having 1 year horizon, I think sectors like PSU banks, sector like railway, defense, cement, these sectors will continue to flourish because a lot of whatever the government is doing is spending, and the localization what government is doing, a lot of benefit will be reaped by this particular sector. So if you ask me in the banking sector, in private sector bank, I like particularly Kotak Mahindra Bank. In my view, this stock has really not gone anywhere for quite some time, and now time is coming to start looking at it because again, FIs are buyer. As far as the small mid-cap stock is concerned in banking, I like Bank of Maharashtra, which should be accumulated at 25 rupees, at 10 rupee paid up stock available at 25 rupees, and the kind of numbers came of Bank of Maharashtra, this will surely do well.
Right. Now we shift our focus and we start the rapid fire. Starting with you, Mr. Maheshwari, a long-term question coming in on Tata Elxsi. He's Mr. Thomas V. George is writing to us from Kochi. He's asking for your perspective on Tata Elxsi for the long term.
See, we have seen a lot of brokerages sale report on this Tata Elxsi stock. Last quarterly numbers are also not good. So I'll also shy from giving a buy call on Tata Elxsi. In my view, let's wait for 6,000 rupees mark, then we'll take a fresh call and post their next quarter numbers.
Right. Jai Krishnan is writing to us and he wants to know what levels can he enter Eicher Motors for the medium term, Mr. Khyal?
See, if you look at Eicher Motors right now, as we discussed, the stock is in a downtrend. So I would rather wait for some time for it to move above the level. So maybe 3,315 might consider to enter.
Right. Mr. Khyal, this one's for you. Vijay from Singapore asking about Aurobindo Pharma, bought at 1815. He's asking whether it's worth it to hold for 1 year or avoid losses and exit now.
He has bought at a very high price, so hold it for now. Let's just wait for some time. Let the pharma cycle turn. I think he should get maybe recover his losses.
All right, this one is from Matthew George. Is it good time to enter Adani Enterprises at current levels for a period of 6 months? What sort of target, Mr. Khyal?
See, Adani Enterprises, if he's entering, he can do that. The stock has done exceptionally well, but maintain a stop loss of around 3,800 on downside for the target of 4,200.
Right. Mr. Khyal, Sunny is writing to us asking your perspective on Newgen Software, holding 225 quantity at 351.
Newgen Software has drastically underperformed. I would say it's best to be out from a stock like this. In IT, then I would stay with the large cap names like this.
Okay, Niranjan wants to know, does it make sense to buy ONGC and Oil India at current price for the short term? If not, then which other stock? What do you say, Mr. Maheshwari?
Both are avoided in my view. This oil-related stocks because there's so much volatility is there in oil stocks. So I'll suggest you look at the stocks like RVNL or Engineers India, which will give you better return.
Right. And with that, we're completely out of time. Many thanks, Mr. Khyal and Mr. Maheshwari, and the team that put up the show together from Cheryl and I. Wishing you all a very happy weekend. But don't go anywhere right now. Markets at Noon takes the action forward.
Favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
Now, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful.
Now that great global cues keeps Indian markets under check. Sensex opened with a gap of 61,500 level, continues to slide. Nifty 2 trading below the crucial 18,500 mark thanks to selling pressure on consumption, defensive indices. Meanwhile, Nykaa stocks bucks the trend after a big block deal takes place today.
Sell-off in commodities, that's the big global headline. Crude tumbles 3% as Brent tests $90 level. Silver, zinc, aluminium all lose their sheen, 2% down overnight. Meanwhile, the US bond yield has been under pressure as well as Fed hints at more rate hikes that could be in the offering.
Fortis had asked for the opinion of regulator SEBI on the open offer, who advises IHH Healthcare to obtain an order from Delhi High Court to proceed with the much-awaited Fortis open offer. Fortis Healthcare stock has cooled off after gaining nearly 5% in the early trading session.
Fertilizer stocks are in focus today as we hear from sources that the Fertilizer Ministry is seeking a whopping 2.5 lakh crore rupees subsidy for the next financial year. This is so far the highest ever subsidy ever demanded.
All eyes will be on Qatar as country flags off 2022 FIFA World Cup this weekend. This year's extravaganza could see the last battle of the likes of the titans of the industry, likes of Messi, Ronaldo, various others, to take a few names.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Noon on ET Now. I'm Anisha Jain. With me is Pankaj Poddar, and it's a bit of Freaky Friday for the markets. And I say that because there's a downtick of over 100 points on the Nifty. The Sensex is too under the weather, 350 points lower. The broader markets continue to reel under pressure. Yes, globally as well, we had seen a bit of sell-off overnight, given the commentary from the Fed suggested that there could be more rate hikes in the offering. Plus, the commodities have been on the back foot. But back home as well, all the sectors are actually trading in the red, Pankaj. It's only the PSU banking space which is showing a clear outperformance. But other than that, auto, realty, IT, they're all on the back foot.
Absolutely. It's not looking that great if you're a bull. And, you know, as and when we are checking what's happening with some of the Asian markets, they're also looking in weaker. US futures have cooled off 10 points. I'm talking about S&P particularly. So there seems to be an incremental selling pressure, and that's broadly, I think, what the street is also trying to factor in. But banking stocks, you mentioned about the PSU name. Let's hear out Chakri Lokpriya. We spoke to him earlier on AMC shares. Why HDFC Bank, SBI are among his top picks.
HDFC Bank itself has been held back because of the technical reasons of inclusion in the MSCI, and with that report there is some amount of clarity. Maybe it will, and therefore you begin to look back at the fundamentals, and the fundamentals show that for HDFC Bank, the loan growth has been amongst the strongest, even within the private sector banks or even compared to public sector banks. Now, yes, it has a multiple which reflects like at about 2.8 times, 3 times. It kind of reflects that kind of a loan growth. But then again, if you look at its ROE profile, which is again a fairly superior number. So here is a stock which is fundamentally strong. Its loan growth is growing. And then now today, you know that it will occupy a fairly big weight in the MSCI whenever the merger closes. And so it gives you sufficient comfort and valuation that the stock can easily be at least 20, 30, 25% higher. On the other hand, companies like SBI still grow fundamentally super duper strong, still trades at only at about a 1.2 times book. And they're able to actually benefit more from a floating rate because have higher floating rates in a rising rate environment.
Since we're talking about the banking space, let's complete that point as well, because the PSU stocks are the ones which are rallying in trade today, and Bank of America believes that the PSU banking names are a turnaround story, and this is now finally being recognized by the market. They have a buy call on the likes of Bank of Baroda and also positive stance on the likes of SBI. Let me go across to my colleague Harsh. He's joining in with more details.
We're seeing a stellar rally already on the PSU banking index. In fact, it's the largest gaining index year to date. So clearly solid gains already clocked, but BofA continues to be quite bullish on this particular space. What they're suggesting is, of course, SBI has been a surprise performer, but they expect that turnaround to trickle down to other PSU banks as well. What they are expecting is the ROAs and ROEs will continue to expand and improve all the way up to FY24. We have seen ROAs of 1% plus on SBI as well as Bank of Baroda. So clearly some amount of that translation has happened, but they believe that there is more in store going forward. Valuation discounts, excluding SBI, have meaningful room on the upside. So they are expecting valuations to correct Currently, PSU banks are roughly trading between that 0.5 to 0.9% price to book. So there is a substantial room on the upside. Mind you, SBI at 1.6 times price to book where valuations are concerned. They expect these discounts to narrow going forward, even in relative terms versus SBI. And they believe that Bob will continue to lead the PSB turnaround story. They remain positive or rather neutral on SBI, but see a narrowing scope for positive surprise where SBI is concerned, but largely positive on that PSU banking pack.
Thanks for that. Let's now go across to Swati Hotkar. She's with us. She represents Nirmal Bang for technical analysis. Swati, what is your perspective on the market? Where do you see the markets going in versus the rest of the globe, and how Indian markets are also taking a marginal backseat considering that?
Yes, good afternoon, all of you. We have seen that the Nifty has given a very good rally on the higher sides. As of now, Nifty was facing a very strong resistance at 18,400 to 18,500 level. So that 100 points range was the very strong resistance level for the Nifty. Somehow it manages to touch that level, but on the closing basis, it doesn't give the breakout of the same, which gives us some sort of a cautious sign as of now. Whereas on a downside, 18,200 will act as a very strong support level. If the Nifty breakdowns that support level on the closing basis, then definitely this sell-off rally is likely to be extended, which might take a Nifty towards 18,000 to 17,900 levels on the downside. If we compare it to the Bank Nifty was till yesterday it was just doing very well, but today we have seen a very huge selling pressure on the banking side as well. So that's why the view will remain cautious on the Bank Nifty as well. 42,000 is the immediate support level for the Bank Nifty. Any move above that level may drive the Bank Nifty towards 40,500 to 40,000 levels on the downsides. The view is a little bit cautious since we have got a steep rally on the Bank Nifty as well. So the profit booking cannot be denied at the higher levels, because the Bank Nifty also was trading at all-time high levels. So the view is a little bit cautious. One should book the profits at the current market levels and should wait for a buy on dip strategy should be adopted at the current market price.
Okay, so a bit of cautious view coming in, a bit of profit booking is what Swati is suggesting. But Swati, is there any recommendation on the stock specific front as well that looks like a buying opportunity?
See, as of now, looking towards the market, I have just recommended a cautious view, so I will not suggest a buy call at the current market price, but definitely since I'm expecting this profit booking is likely to be continued, so I'm generating a 2 sell call. One will be on the Escorts. See, Autopax from the last few trading session is not doing really very well. So Escort was just hovering near its 20 DMA moving averages. Today it has given the breakdown of the same, and I believe that the profit booking is likely to be extended into this particular counter. And downside, 1900 will be the first target we can witness into the Escort. So sell at the current market price Escort with a stop loss of 2040. And the second sell call I'm generating from the cement sector, that is a Grasim. Grasim, from the last few trading days, we have seen that it's facing a very profit booking at the higher level, and from last 2 days it is just hovering near 50 DMA, and today it has given the breakdown of the same, which indicates some sort of a cautious sign at the current market price. So one can go for a short in Grasim with a stop loss of 1735. I'm looking for a target of a 1610, and those levels are the future levels.
Okay, Swati, we'll let you go on that note. Thank you so much for joining us today. In fact, on that note, we are slipping into a very short break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have lots of corporates lined up for you, but plus we'll discuss a lot of stocks which are moving around in trade.